Welcome, fellow Lions fans. Lots of injury and COVID news to get to in the past couple days, so let's get right to it. Today is Thursday, Christmas Eve. All right, COVID shutdown occurred on Tuesday. Practice was closed. Anthony Pittman was put on the list. The next day, there was practice. However, the entire defensive coaching staff and head coach Darryl Bevell were put on the list, so those guys are quarantined. Well, assuming this doesn't spread to a large percentage of the players, I don't see how this hurts the team much, if at all. If the coaches can't be on the field Saturday, not a huge deal for the defense as it can't really get any worse there. On offense, Darryl Bevell might be able to sit in a luxury box or even in the stands to calling the plays. I don't think it's a big deal either way, but there's a good chance the coaches would be back by Saturday. Darryl Bevell says he will know Thursday if he can coach Saturday. I'm not sure how he can know that for sure because he's going to have a test on Friday. If that comes back positive, he's going to be out. Everson Griffen was taken off the COVID list. He's been out of commission for 2 or 3 weeks now. Remember, we traded a 6th rounder for him that could become a 5th. Now, usually the conditions are related to playing time, so hopefully the few games he missed due to COVID saves us from having to give up a 5th. That trade's not looking great in retrospect, given that this is a lost season for us. Although Everson Griffen has played pretty well, he's probably been the most consistent pass rusher for us this year when he has played. Danny Shelton returned to practice. Go back to episode 34 for video of that. He had a likely MCL on Thanksgiving, so good news there. Jamie Collins hurt his neck in the 3rd quarter, about the 6-minute mark this last game. He came back pretty quickly, so I didn't make too much of it. He's on the injury report with NPs Tuesday and Wednesday, but I don't think it's anything major. I think there's a good chance he'll play Saturday. Tyrell Crosby has a right ankle injury from the Bears game 3 weeks ago. Episode 36 has video of that. NPs Tuesday and Wednesday, he'll be out this week. Golladay, 2 NPs Tuesday and Wednesday. He's definitely out for the Bucs. I think he's out for the year at this point. Frank Ragnow, throat issue, possible vocal cord contusion. He's getting reevaluated today, Thursday. I think there's a decent chance he could play if this is a simple, straightforward vocal cord contusion, but we'll see how that goes. Darryl Roberts has likely a hip pointer contusion. Episode 37 has video of that. It looked like a straightforward blunt trauma injury. Not too worrisome, nothing long-term, not too concerned. I think there's a decent chance he'll be ready. Matthew Stafford, excellent news that he's had 2 LPs this week. He'll definitely play on Saturday. He's not going to have an FP the rest of the year, but the fact that he's already LPs Tuesday and Wednesday, and he looked good on the sideline after he was taken out of the game last Sunday, smiling, standing around, moving around just fine. So he'll be ready to go. Vaitai had a concussion, likely late in the 2nd quarter. He actually played another play after that. Lions, over the past few years, have had the player miss 1 game minimum due to concussion, so he'll be out for this Saturday, but there's a chance that he'll be back for the Vikings game. There's very good news that he's already up to an LP on Wednesday. It's also good news that it wasn't a re-aggravation of his left foot, which has been bothering him all year. Now, Julian Okwara returned from IR and had an FP on Wednesday, which is great news. That means he'll almost certainly play and be active on Saturday. He hurt himself all the way back in Game 5. He's a rookie, the first year of his contract, which means he needs all the reps he can get. He needs all the playing time he can get. Remember, there's likely not going to be any off-season practices, and there may not be any preseason games next year. So these last 2 games are sort of like next year's preseason games. Now, some people might say, why are you bringing guys back with a game or 2 left? Just hold them out until next year. Well, this reminds me a little bit of Charles Rogers way back when. Remember, he injured his collarbone his first year and missed most of the year. He came back in the second year. We were all excited for him. he breaks his collarbone again in the very first game. Well, a collarbone injury is maybe an 8 to 12 week injury, so he could have come back for the last 2, 3, 4 games of the year. Instead, we put him on IR right away, which back then meant he's done for the year. There's no designated to return back then. Now, keeping him mentally involved and on the roster for the year may have helped save him, may have helped save him mentally, may have helped save his career and just kept him involved. So I think it was a bad move back then to IR a guy who's that important to the team. And that may be what's going on this year with Kenny Golladay, who's already missed 2 months and that got never placed on IR. He's a guy that's very important to the team. I don't think you IR those guys. You want to keep them around and active. Although lately, this year, you're able to bring them back, so it's not as big of a deal. All right, that's the quick rundown. Feel free to leave any questions on YouTube or Twitter at Jimmy Liao MD. Now, if you want to watch the video of the Vaitai injury, let me show that to you right now. All right, so here he is, right tackle, number 72. So let's run this. You'll see that he goes down for a cut block and then gets kneed right in the head. So let's show this to you again. So it goes down, gets a knee in the head with a cut block. Now, I saw this during my initial injury review when I was trying to figure out why he went out. I didn't make too much of it because here he is right after the play. So watch him here. He's right here, number 72. He doesn't seem to be showing any significant or any effects of a concussion at this point. He seems alert, walking around fine. He even plays the very next play. You can watch that here. He does pretty well on the next play. And there's no really obvious signs of a concussion at this point. So right tackle again. And he's right there. So he makes a block, stumbles a little bit going down. Nothing too concerning. He has a little bit of trouble getting up, but that seems like more of a physical issue than any kind of concussion-related issue as he hurriedly gets back up and jogs off for the next play. So nothing that seemed overly concerning there, really. The 2-minute warning happened, and his concussion symptoms probably started at that point. This shows you how concussions can all have very different presentations. Some are obvious with LOC, loss of consciousness, or fencing, and the player may seem dazed immediately. Others, it can take a few minutes to tell that a concussion may have even happened. And then you have a situation like DeAndre Swift, who had headaches hours later, and no one really knows if that was related to a concussion or not. So concussions are very, very difficult to figure out, difficult to diagnose. So a lot of the criticism the NFL has taken over the past couple decades regarding concussions, I feel like are unwarranted. Doctors don't even know how to deal with concussions accurately. We don't have a good way of diagnosing them. There are no good tests for it. So it's just a very difficult issue with a lot of unknowns right now. All right, so that's the show for today. Thanks for watching.